All right, so you get your engine block back from the machine shop and the cylinder walls need washing. You guys probably know there is no secret. Just soap and water and scrub the heck out of it. And also, while I got the hose out, I'm going to flush out all the oil galleys and make sure I have good flow out of all the ports and everything. But the downside is you got to dry this thing off. It will rust. So I'm going to scrub it down real good, give it a good rinse with the hose, rinse it out, blow a bunch of compressed air, and get this thing as dry as possible in preparation for our assembly. Actually feel some of the grit coming off when I'm doing this. The walls feel kind of crunchy. But once they get past clean, the soap pulls any of the grease or oil out. I guess they probably put on it when they did the work. I don't know, but I just been taught this is how you do it, and it works. Yuck. And now for the fun part. And that's the water coming out from where it picks up from the oil pan. We go to this port, and it should come out all the liquor valleys here. Yeah, going through the main. Now we're all done playing with the slip and slide. I'm going to do that test again. Remember we wiped this out before and left this dark spot on our shop towel? So I'm going to do the same thing again and see how we did. Oh, that's on the other side. Huh. Yeah, look at that. Okay, I was like, where's that coming from? That's on the other side. So anyway, our cylinder walls are super clean now. I love it. And we need to get this thing dry before it flash rusts. So now the daunting task of taking compressed air and blowing through all those passages we just got to flushing all that water through, get these cylinder walls all good and dry so it doesn't flash rust. Now this is kind of interesting. I was blowing air through it, and this is coming out of the oil hole. Some old gritty junk. Feels like just old carboned up oil. It's breaking down, but this is why we're doing this. Make sure we don't have any of that debris left in there. Probably wouldn't even hurt if you actually cleaned all these oil holes up with some, I guess you'd say, like pipe cleaners and stuff. Probably wouldn't hurt any. Anyway, just about got this thing wrapped up. All right, now we're all happy with it all completely dry. Everything's all cleaned out. Put excessive amounts of air in all these ports. Got all of the water blown out, and I really feel dried out. And no more crud lunging out here in our bearing cap. So I think we finally got all the gunk cleaned out of this thing. That's why we go ahead and run air through all the pores, try to get anything dislodged out of it now before we assemble it. So that being said, I'm going to just put a thin coat of engine oil on all 8 of the cylinder bores and all 16 of the lifter holes. Just a really thin coat until we get to actually get to assemble this thing, so this thing doesn't flash rust, because I've still got a few more things you have to do, but this is just part of the prep work when you get an engine back from the machine shop. There we go. Got oil on all the cylinders. See, real thin, like nice, a nice reflection there. All the cylinders have a really just thin coating of oil. Did the same thing to all the lifter bores. That'll keep it from flash rust until we get ready for the next part here. So at this point, I think it's all prepped for the next step. You know that saying, hindsight is always 20/20. Where I'm going to go with this are those oil galley plugs, the little freeze plugs that were hammered in place, which I like, and the Allen plugs. Now, this is the first time I've used this machine shop. Where I'm going, I probably should have asked some questions. I'm used to them just either straight up leaving them out or not taking them out at all. Well, not only did he remove them, he installed them A+. But if I would have known that, I would have went ahead and removed them myself, maybe clean those oil galleys out. I don't want to take them back out and risk damaging those little plugs. I'm pretty happy with flushing it the way that I did. I showed you here in the video. But in all seriousness, more ideally, you leave those completely out. You can see straight through the block, verify there's no debris in there visibly, and you know 100% confidence that it's cleaned out. So what I'm saying is, maybe if you're going to take your block, Pontiac in particular, knock those plugs out first, or talk to the guy at the machine shop. Do you plan on removing the plugs and replacing them? If the answer is yes and yes, take it apart first. Make sure there's no debris left in those holes. So there's a lot more prep work to actually get this block ready for it to be assembled. Still on the debate on the rear main seal, 1-piece or 2-piece, or rope or Viton or rubber. Because here's the story I haven't told you all. The Great Pumpkin love that car, except for its marking as territory. The rear main seal blew out of that car. Now, that's been a couple years back, several thousand miles. I'm very unhappy the fact that that rear main seal blew out of that engine. So I'm trying to come up with a solid replacement. I'm going to do some investigating, and I'll share with you my results or what I think is the best for the solution for that problem. Because here's what I do. You don't always see it. A lot of this stuff is from experience, from trial and error. Some of it's I do a lot of research, a lot of reading. You don't see me grabbing the book or service manuals or jump on the interwebs and try to decipher what is good information and horrible information, just straight up garbage information. But just because some guy on YouTube said so doesn't mean it's good, right? That's true. So I try to show you with proof why and how, and I explain to you why I made that decision most of the time so you can understand my thought process. So I try to only share either personal experience and proof or stuff that I'm going to say this is a bit of an experiment. I'll let you know how it goes, but I try to only share good information, not garbage. It's going to steer you in the wrong direction and waste your time and money. That's never my goal. So don't always get it right, but I try to be as genuine and real and truthful as possible what I'm doing here on these builds. That way, like I said, keep you on track and not get discouraged, and try to be someone that you can trust to get your car looking like this and back on the road like the old Trans-Am. That car is almost 7 years old now. Still looks fantastic, doing great. So anyway, I'm going to shut up for now. Block is clean. I'm going to do some research. I'm going to do some other things. I'm going to do a whole video series on just building an engine. So grab your popcorn, sit down, and be prepared. This isn't going to be a 15-minute video slapping the whole engine together. I'm going to try to cover a lot of really specific details that's going to help you in case you want to dive into something like this here in your little tiny garage. So please subscribe, share with your friends, and hope to see you all then.